ever feel like you're chasing success, but losing track of your life in the process? What if you could have both without burning out? My first guest today has discovered how to use AI to automate her business and free up her time for the things that really, really matter. She's an entrepreneur on a mission to help others build a thriving business without sacrificing their personal life. And on the next level stage, I've got a digital artist and musician who's using technology to create everything from heartfelt music to digital products that make life moments more memorable. Get ready to discover how the blending tech, creativity, and a little balance can help you thrive. Coming up next on the Business Breakout.
Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So, welcome everybody. So, they've told us that we should work smarter and not harder. But how often have you actually felt like you're doing that in your business? If you're still feeling stuck in the grind, it might be time to rethink the way that you're approaching things. And what I mean is really tap into the tools that could completely shift how you run your business and give you back more time, more energy, and even more creativity. But before we get into all of that, if this is your first time here, hello there. I'm Ella Glasgow, your host and the Director of Fundability at Beyond Virtual Events, where I help established small businesses create impactful virtual experiences that keep their audiences engaged from start to finish. And this just so happens to be the unconventional virtual event that I produce live inside of Zoom on the first and third Wednesday of every month. Welcome to season 3, everybody. And this is my personal invite to you to come and join us in Zoom for the next one. So if you are watching, whether you're coming from LinkedIn, whether it's from YouTube, whether it's from Facebook, you can come and join us so that you can see what's possible for your online events. And depending on where you're watching from, the link to register is going to be in the description or in the comments. I am so excited to be here with our guests today. They both have special places in my heart. My first guest is all about helping you break free from that constant hustle. She is a former educator turned AI expert, and she's on a mission to help entrepreneurs automate their businesses so they can reclaim their time and live regret-free. I mean, who doesn't want to do that, right? She's known for her out-of-the-box thinking, and today she's going to share how a smart approach to AI can completely shift your way to run your business, saving you time, energy, and a whole lot of stress. Please welcome to the Business Breakout, Brittany Long. Hey, Brittany.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Look, I'm a little bit awestruck to have you here. I know that I've already talked to you on Zoom like more than 7 times, but I'm still a little awestruck to have you here and be on my show today. I'm so grateful that you said yes.
So excited to be here. I love everything you do. So
thank you so much. So I want to get straight to it, okay? Because the way that AI has really taken over the scene, it's something that's been, people have a love-hate relationship with. And I'm sure that you have come to realize as an entrepreneur yourself, a lot of entrepreneurs really struggle with feeling like they're stuck in the grind because they're always working, but they're never getting quite ahead. So how have you found that AI can really help them to break that cycle and actually free up time to focus on what matters most?
yeah, so I think that with AI, there's a lot of opportunities there, but a lot of times people just don't know how to use it or how to even get started. And so one of the first things that I encourage people to do when they're starting is to go into ChatGPT or Claude or another tool. I like ChatGPT because it's really user friendly. And basically say, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what takes up a lot of time in my personal life and my business. What can you help with? and really having it list out a bunch of those things that it can help you with specifically. And then from there, looking at what is it that is not bringing me joy in my life or in my business. If for me, for example, I hate figuring out what to make for dinner. Like, I don't know. I feel like after a few years, I was like, you know what? I want someone else to take care of this for me. And like just the thought process of like, what are we gonna have for dinner? And so even just being able to go to my fridge, take a picture and put it into Chat GPT and be like, all right, what can we have for dinner tonight based on what's here? We want something warm, or maybe it's summer, we want something that's cool and fresh, has been really, really helpful. And then looking, of course, at the business and saying, what are the things that are holding me back, that are taking me a long time, that I don't enjoy doing, that I don't necessarily need to be doing myself? And then asking Chat GPT, how can you help me with this?
Yeah. I mean, look. So I'm gonna be here shamelessly plugging uh Brittany's program, okay? Because I happen to be in it. And AI to 100K, look, the way that Brittany has put things together, I hope you don't mind me just like totally.
Go for it.
The way that Brittany has put things together, what she's talking about being so simple, task that you can do. But the biggest thing, I don't know if you all picked up what she just put down. Talking to Chat GPT like it's a person, as you would talk to a person. And I feel like, and you, Brittany, you tell me if you feel the same way. I feel like that's what people miss when they don't get the answers that they want from Chat GPT. They forget that you, just like any other assistant, you have to nudge it along, because even if your assistant knows you for a little bit of time, if they haven't known you forever, they don't know your thoughts. And Chat GPT doesn't know you yet. Doesn't know you like that to be able to give you an answer that you were really, really looking for. You have to go back and forth with it just like you would any other person before they understand exactly what it is that you want. Would you say the same?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people get stuck there because they're like, well, I tried it once, I tried it 5 times. It doesn't sound like me. It's not understanding what I want. But you wouldn't expect to hire on a team member and be like, read my mind. Like you'd expect that there'd be a training period. And it's the same thing with ChatGPT. There's that training period there. But then the other thing that I think is really interesting is that because it's like this objective thing, it doesn't have background experience, it doesn't have emotions, it's just this objective thing. When it's not getting what I'm saying, when I'm trying to tell it to do something and it's not like picking up what I'm putting down, usually I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe it's a me thing, maybe it's a me problem, and I'm not explaining this well enough. And so it's the same thing too. If I was talking to a team member and I asked them to do something and they do it incorrectly or not the way I wanted, like 3 times, I'm like, okay, this is probably a me problem. Like maybe I need to explain it in a different way. And so I think working with ChatGPT, it's actually helped me become a better communicator because I don't have this emotion of like, why aren't they understanding it? I'm like, okay, it's an objective thing. So if it's not understanding it, it's probably because I need to say it in a different way. And it's helped me find ways to express things differently or more directly. And so, yeah, I think that's a key component people miss a lot.
Yeah. I so there's so much that we could talk about AI. I'm going to probably have to have you come back because we have a limited amount of time. But I want to I want to ask you this. So I know that you work with entrepreneurs, and a lot of people think at this point that AI is only for big corporations or really tech savvy people. And I think that's where you and I kind of run in the same circuits, helping people to understand that tech doesn't just have to be for big corporations. So, how can small business owners, especially those who might be afraid of tech, start using AI in a way that feels more approachable and more manageable?
Yeah, I think probably the best thing that they can do is ask ChatGPT to explain things to them. So let's say I've done this before where I had to set up a domain and then transfer it or something like that. And I remember the first time I did it, how confusing it was and how frustrated I was. But I actually just asked ChatGPT to list out the steps for me now. And so anytime I come across something, whether it's tech or something else that I don't quite understand, I'll be like, all right, here's the objective. Here's the thing that I want to get done, but I'm not sure even where to start with this. Can you pretend that I've never done this before in my life? And can you give me step by step instructions? that are super, super detailed, so detailed a seventh grader could complete it. And then I'm going to ask you follow-up questions if I don't understand. And so it kind of helps you walk through that. And so I guess you can see it kind of as a teacher too, or a guide almost. If you get stuck on something, asking it to guide you through step by step, really simple instructions, and then ask questions if you're stuck again.
I think that's huge. I don't know what you all are thinking out there. Let me know what you're thinking out there, whether you're watching us live or you're watching us in the replay. Let us know what you think about what Brittany is talking about, because I believe that most people are not approaching the AI, whether it be ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or all, there's so many now, but
Mhm.
we're with the OG. So so to be able to approach it from that way, instead of being confused, talk to it like you would a teacher, like Brittany just said, to really speak to it in a way that allows you as the business owner, you as the person working in a business whose boss asks you to figure out something that you don't know how to figure out. Then you tell ChatGPT, what is it? This is what he said he wanted, Lord Jesus. What is this and
Mm-hmm.
how do we accomplish it?
Exactly.
It really
It can
can.
help with
Go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say it can help with miscommunications too. So if let's say you're working at like a 9 to 5 sort of situation and somebody's like, all right, I want you to do this. And you say, okay. And you think you understand what they're talking about because you're thinking of it one way, but you hand it into them. They're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. Then they give you feedback. So then you can take that back to ChatGPT and be like, all right, this is what they said they wanted. This is what I gave them. This is the feedback. What is it that they actually want? Because I'm still a little bit stuck here on what exactly they're looking for. And it can give you some ideas or even some clarifying questions that you might want to ask to help you kind of unjumble what it is that they're looking for.
Yeah, it can be, it's such a great tool. It's such a great tool. And there's so much that we could dive deeper into. This is, look, I have to move on to the next guest, Brittany, but I don't want you to go away because
Okay.
I want to know more things, and we'll talk in a little bit later. So for those of you that are watching, she's not leaving. She's just leaving the stage for the moment. Okay? So my next guest is someone who I have known for a very long time. It's been a long time. We won't say how long just yet, but she is not only a talented musician, but she's really a true creative visionary, and she's blending technology and art in ways that are changing the game. She's a singer, she's a songwriter, she's a digital artist and an author, and using everything from AI to digital products to enhance life's special moments. So whether it's through her deeply personal music, her self published book, or her latest AI assisted jazz song, she's always pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And I cannot wait for you to hear her unique perspective on how creativity and technology really can work together to create something truly special. So please welcome to the stage, the next level stage, Miss Shawna Brinsfield.
Hello.
Hey! Listen to that music. Listen to that music. I love this. This is Shawna. We'll just let that play in the background because it's such a beautiful song. I love that song. And I believe you wrote this song a few years ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the Nashville songwriter Anthony Gould, we co-wrote it about, I don't know, about 8 years ago.
Okay.
It's my best, until this Friday, when I'll tell you about that in a second.
Wait a
One of my
minute.
best, original jazz.
Yeah. Where can people go and find that particular song? The one that we Can You Believe
They
It?
can
Where
go on
can they find
Reverb
that?
Nation,
Okay.
Reverb Nation / Shawna Michelle, Michele. Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll definitely
Yeah.
have the link to Shawna's page and Brittany's page so that you all can get in contact with them and get into their goodness. But Shawna, one of the things I really wanted to talk with you about is your upcoming song that
Yes.
I know that you did something that is controversial.
It's controversial. Let's just let it get it out there.
So tell us about it. What is it exactly that that you're doing, and what are you doing to create your music now that's so different than what has been done previously? Uh-oh. I love a good
Well, this is a
freeze.
perfect leeway from what Brittany was talking about.
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
There you are. You're back.
okay.
You're back. You're back.
So, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm using AI to assist in the songwriting process, actually. Um, there's a company called Suno, and you might have heard their music on some TikToks or Reels. Some musicians have been using it to show everybody how AI is also coming into the music production scene, creation scene. So anyway, I got a little bit obsessed and started making a bunch of songs on there. And I told it a prompt to write an old jazz piano song, and with my topic. So I told it what it wanted. I wanted them to help me write this song. And they came up with a great title, Back When Love Was New. It's going to be released on Friday. And I told it just to say an old-fashioned jazz piano song. And it came up with this really, really awesome song. And it kind of blew my mind. And although it's not the traditional route in the Nashville scene, I'm hoping to maybe open people's minds up about how they can start using AI
I
in their
love that.
songwriting.
I love that. So did you did I hear you say that you had it write the lyrics as well, or just the background music?
Both actually. I just gave it the prompt and the style of music.
Okay.
And so I prompted it, I told it what I want it to be about, and I told it the style of music. And I think I wrote old-fashioned piano
Yeah.
jazz, and it gave me exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome. That's awesome. Suno has been around for a couple of years now as well, but they're now their stuff is actually starting to actually sound scarily good. And with
yeah.
that being said, um, I think most of the stuff that we've heard coming from Suno has been actually an AI digitized voice coming from Suno. So you're kind of taking a different route and still being the musician, the vocalist in the fray. You're
Yes.
not giving it entirely to AI. You're doing something that I think for a lot of musicians that maybe don't play instruments, especially. I mean,
Yes.
we both play
Like
piano, right?
I play a little piano, but I'm not a virtuoso. I'm more a singer. So it's really useful for artists like me, who my brain is creating faster than I can set up multiple sessions and whatnot with all the other musicians. So it allows me to create and just get to produce it so much faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
When you started getting into that, I know that you said that you really became obsessed with
yeah.
the AI, and you found out that it really could be so helpful to you. So,
Yeah.
as somebody that has blended traditional music now with technology, what
Mhm.
advice would you give to other artists or creatives who are probably really hesitant to use
Uh-huh.
these tools like AI in the works that they're creating?
Well, the first advice I'd say is just try to ignore the stigma around it, because as Brittany was talking about, like some people get a little nervous about, well, if this isn't 100% all me doing every single part of this, are people gonna look at it differently than they would doing it the long way, so to speak? I know the long way is now going to be history now because AI is here. So as an artist, I'd say don't be afraid of what people think and be an innovator rather than nervous about trying it.
Ooh, be an innovator.
Be an innovator.
Be
Go
an
with the time.
innovator. I like that. I like that. It's so it's so interesting and crazy. And I can hear what it is that you're saying about, you know, people being nervous about what people are going to think. I mean, to be fair, to be honest,
Yeah.
the way that I put this show together, I mean, I look, ChatGPT and I sat real close together
Oh
about
yeah.
the questions to ask, the
Yeah.
how the intro to write. Look, I
Uh-huh.
mean, yes, I'm a writer. The three of us are actually writers. That is what we do. But when there's so much on our plate, because all three of us are moms, we're wives,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at you, small business owner, I'm looking at you, entrepreneur, I'm looking at you, person working in a company. You're a mom, you're a dad, you got all kinds of other things going on. And as much as you would love to just sit down and just take the hours and hours that it typically took us to do things in the past, in this day and age we just don't have the time. There's too many things
Mhm.
to get done. And just like Shawna was saying, now as a musician, especially when musicians are starting out, maybe not having all of the connections, maybe not having, definitely not having the budget to pay the
Yeah.
people, or as I was when we were at Belmont. I mean, at Belmont I asked people to do stuff all the time, but once I got out of school, I honestly got afraid of asking people to do things for me for free. Even though I know that that's the way that our community rolls, it just made me feel weird. So I honestly never recorded anything. I recorded for everybody else, but I never asked anything for myself. So um
Yeah.
now being able to have these tools, granted, I can go
Hmm.
ask musicians now, but to get things done faster, there's stuff, even things that I have coming up, that it was much easier for
Hmm.
me to just use AI to take stuff that I already had existing, break it apart so that I can have a track to sing to because it was
Yeah.
already recorded. But I'm not going to ask the musicians to come back and do it again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and my husband's a musician, so he's a bass player, and we have these conversations a lot where he's in the world where nobody's doing an AI assisted song. It's, you know, very he's high level bass player, and he obviously does great work and gets great business. But there's a lot of talk that all the singer-songwriters and artists are starting to have on, like, what is this AI thing? How is it going to affect me? And how am I going to continue to create in the way that I do, whether I use it or not let it bother them, but maybe be not afraid of it either. So, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to bring Brittany back into this conversation because this honestly involves so many parts of everybody's lives, whether they realize it or not. I know that, you know, Brittany and I, we're speaking specifically to small business owners, and I'm speaking to small business owners and companies. Shawna is speaking to creatives. We're speaking to all of y'all
Yeah.
today, regardless of where you fall in the lineup, regardless of where things shake out. Even if you're not trying to do anything for business, AI has
Yeah.
something for you. And both of you have really found unique ways to integrate technology into the work to create more of that time for yourselves, more of that freedom. So before we end today's show, what's the one piece of advice? And I'm asking the same question to both of you. Brittany, I'm going to have you go first. What's the one piece of advice that you'd give someone who's feeling overwhelmed and they're looking at that first step toward using technology to make their life easier?
It's hard to narrow it down to just one, but if I had to only pick one, I would probably say to talk to ChatGPT about that overwhelm and basically say, I want to make my life easier using technology, but I'm not really sure where to start. I'm feeling nervous about this thing, and this thing. I really want you to help me kind of overcome this overwhelm that I'm feeling with it and tell me exactly where to start based on what my goal is, what the goal outcome is that I want. Then tell it the goal outcome. So maybe it's, I want to be able to answer my emails, on time or whatever it is that's your thing. And then ask it to give you the steps for that. But by telling it you're overwhelmed, it sometimes helps it to break it down even a little bit more.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Shawna, what about you? What would you tell? What's the one piece of advice that you would give to creatives that are wanting to step into the fray? They hear you saying things like being able to use an app like Suno to help them to create all of their music, but uh, it feels scary and it feels like it's taking away my creativity. So, what would piece of advice would you give them to help them overcome that and step with us into this brave new world?
Okay, I'll do a brief 3 point, 1 point answer here. Innovate, collaborate, and mindset. You need to get your mind forward thinking available, but still don't lose sight of collaboration. You still need to be collaborating with people. Don't let AI use in your music isolate you. And to pull this all together, you got to have your mindset solid that you are responsible for propelling your career. No matter what tools or collaborator you're using, your mindset's got to be solid. If your career is not where you want it to be, it's you. You need to change your mindset and get in the game and know that you have what it takes to use your creativity to bring something amazing into the world.
Go ahead, drop a mic. Yes, yes, that goes for all of you. That goes for all of you that are watching, wherever you fall in that game. Innovate. In it, what were those three things you said?
Innovate, collaborate, and mindset.
Innovate, collaborate, and mindset. Come on, somebody. We giving us acronyms and all the things. All of those things are so incredibly important. And like I said, I'm going to have you both back at some point this season because this stuff is so big. There's so much that can be talked about when it comes to AI and being able to use it to help your life, to help your business. And I have had such an incredible time having both of you here today. And thank you for being here with us today. Whether you were here live or whether you were in the replay, make sure you let us know how you joined us today. This has really been such a valuable conversation that's been packed with insights that I hope have sparked something new for you. We've heard about using technology and creativities in ways that can really transform not just our businesses, but how we actually approach life itself. From automating those everyday tasks that tend to drain us to using tech as a tool for artistic expression. My guests that have come on today have really shown us what's possible, and I am so here for it. And I hope that you will embrace those new ideas. So, whether you're looking to streamline your business or ignite your next creative project, I hope that you're walking away with some really actionable steps to make things easier and more fulfilling for you. And speaking of making things easier, that is exactly what I do at Beyond Virtual Events. It's not just about hosting events, it's about crafting engaging experiences with purpose. An event is a stepping stone. And when it's done right, it can transform a single moment into a cascade of marketing opportunities for your business. If you're ready to elevate your virtual presence and turn your next event into a powerhouse of ongoing lead generating engagement without tech headaches, I am here to help you make that happen. And if you want to see this all in action, join me on Zoom on the first and third Wednesday of every month, where I produce unconventional virtual events designed to inspire and engage. So until next time, start right where you are and remember that everything that you do can go far beyond. I'll see you next time.